Oh yes, I do remember a story when we had to cover about 2 communities in the riverine part of Delta State, and these the communities are actually on 2 major rivers. We had to take the first community, which is on Benin River, and we had to, after finishing our engagement in that community, we had to go over to the other river, which is on the Escravo River. Our option was either to go back, we had a boatman, and the option was either to go back and take a long route, go and connect the Escravos River back from the top, or we just sort of make a beeline through the swamps, and which is, of course, you know, it's a busy swamp. It's a swamp inside the mangrove. So we thought, okay, well, it would be an experience to pass through the swamp. And it was quiet. It was a quiet swamp. It was a bit eerie, but it was a real good experience. Having to go through some really places that non-commercial routes in the Niger Delta. So I mean, it was an eye-opening experience, and it was a bit scary. Sangana and Fishtown communities. These are communities around the Atlantic. We took a boat, and the weather was quite nice, you know, nice sunny weather. We took a boat from Yenagoa, heading to the Atlantic. And this was going to be about 2 hours journey. When we started out, it was quite nice. The weather was nice and sunny. We're getting a very nice view. However, 30 minutes into the journey, we encountered a storm. A very unpredictable storm due to the microclimate around there. The clouds can gather in such a quick time, and then it starts raining. We were unprepared for this because we had an open boat, and this wasn't exactly the rainy season. So quick thinking, and the boatman just gave us a big plastic cover. We had to just sort of cover ourselves in the boat. Now for me, it was impossible for me to cover myself because I had a bit of I didn't imagine not seeing where I was heading. I just wasn't going to cover myself. So I had the option of getting soaked. And while the rest covered their bodies, I thought, well, I'm just going to see where I'm heading and give the boatman the second I'll be the one supporting the boatman in terms of looking ahead. So it was really, really challenging because the rain stung my eyes, because I had to keep my eyes open, and I thought that this was really, really challenging. If I experienced this, then I can imagine what the folks who live in the riverine communities experience, because this is their reality. So that was the first time for me. Of course, I've had several of such experiences, but as the first time, it was really, really something to write home about. So I also recall in terms of the living conditions in the riverine communities, there was a time we had to go to a community in Delta State. At that time, there was no electricity there. I was working in, our work was trying to get them access to electricity. And we had to stop over. We had to sleep the night there in a small hotel, the village hotel. And they provided the spaces and everything. Now, this village hotel had, there was no light, no lighting in the rooms, and we had to just sleep in the dark. And now this was a first for me because, yes, I normally turn off the light when I want to sleep. However, in this case, I had no control on switching on the light when I want. So it was really scary, and I know at some point in the night I may have to use the men's room, which is outside the building in this case. It's in the normal kind of toilets they have in the riverine communities, and that means it's on top of water. So you have to go on, and everything empties into the river. So that was really scary because it's in the dark, and this was a major river, and this is just, so I had to have that discipline. Good thing is we had a bit of preparation. We had additional torchlights and some kits to help for the night, which we had been supported by our operations team. And so I was able to, utilize it. I literally, if I had to sleep for 8 hours during the night, maybe I had my eyes open for half of that time, just because of the uncertainty. But like many other times, this was the first, so it was really challenging. And there's the reason we need to take PIND's work to those communities. The more remote the communities are, the more they need economic opportunities and regional stability. Some of the communities we've been to, and I see the impact and the work we've experienced today, especially in terms of the last time I visited those communities, and I could see the excitement when the people in the community saw me coming, and they were excited and they were telling me about, you know, how much impact these things have had on their lives, their trade, and having access to electricity has supported their fishing business, and and offering me different things, and even at times, offering me, fish to take back to the community, to back to my own base. And it just shows that, I feel very fulfilled. It just shows that these sacrifices were actually worth it. Follow us across social media using @PIND Foundation, and be sure to visit our dedicated anniversary webpage. The link is provided here on the screen. And share this information with your friends, family, and everyone else in your circle. Let's celebrate PIND's 10 years of impact in the Niger Delta.